Hi, if you want to know already the answer, just go to the minute you'll see on screen. If instead you want to know their thought process behind my answer, please continue with the video. If you like these videos, like and subscribe. I'm becoming a good content creator. In this video, I will answer this question. So, let's start with the question itself, a more detailed question. So, you have the following starting hand. Pyretic Ritual, Desperate Ritual, Ruby Medallion, Manamorphose, Past in Flames, Reckless Impulse, and a land. So, what do you do with this hand? You mulligan or keep it? Most of you will answer one of two ways. The first one is, yes, I want to keep this hand. This hand is really good. If I find another land, I can try and go even as early as turn 2. I can try and go for the famous second turn kill, or can I even go for a more consistent, for a turn 3 kill? So it's a really good hand. I want to keep it. On the other hand, on the other side, some of you might say this hand is very risky because you have only one land. The problem with Ruby Storm is that if you have only one source of mana, the deck doesn't work. So both of the side of the argument are right. So the hand is very good, but it's very risky. So how can we have a definitive answer on this question? So the best way to answer this question is by using a hypergeometric calculator, which is a tool that every player should know and be able to use it. So let's use the hypergeometric calculator. The hypergeometric calculator is very easy to use. The calculator itself explains to you what data you need to have in order to have to use the calculator. So as you can see on the screen, you will see every data that the calculator will ask you. So in order to have the answer to our question, we need to use the calculator 3 times. So for 3 different situations. The difference between these 3 situations is how many cards can we go deep in order to find the missing land. So I have 3. For now, I have the most important one, which are we can go 1 card deep, which is basically we are on the play. 2 card deep, which is on the play with a surveillant, or on the draw without surveillant. And then we can go 3 cards deep, which is only when we are on the draw with a surveillant. So I already put the data that we have on the calculator, and after a bit of putting the 3 scenarios, the different scenario, I've come up with 3 different answers. So if we can go only 1 card deep, so we are on the play, the probability of drawing exactly a land is around 36%. If the only land we have is not a fetch land. If we played a fetch land, the probability is reduced to 34%. I don't think this is relevant for if we are on the play, because if you are on the play and you need a second land, I don't think you want to fetch. But I think if you are fetching, you are going to play surveillance. So I don't think the second data is relevant. I think the only relevant data in this situation is the around 36%. So the second scenario, which is we can go 2 card deep, so we are on the draw without surveillant, or we are on the play with a surveillant. The probability is around 59% if the only land we have is not a fetch land, and around 57% if we found if the land that we already have is a fetch land. The third scenario is if we can go 3 cards deep, so we are on the play and the only land we have is a surveillant, which is the result is that we can find a land. The probability of finding a land is around 74%, 74.5%. If the only land we have in hand is not a fetch land, but the probability is reduced to around 72% if the only land we have in hand is a fetch land. So yeah. With this data in mind, so what can we conclude with this data? We can conclude that if we are on the play without a surveillant, I think it's too risky. Most of the time you won't find the second land, and the deck doesn't work without a second land, so I think it's too risky, and I think it's worth it to mulligan. It's worth mulligan. So, but if we are on the play with a surveillant or on the draw without a surveillant, I think it depends on the matchup. For example, if we are against, if we know that we are up against a fast deck, an aggro deck, for example, Boros Energy, the first one that comes up to my mind, I think it depends. It might be worth it. It's not that most of the time you will find the second land, but you're a bit tight on time, so I think it depends on the power of the hand. In this particular hand, which is a really good hand, I think it might be worth it, but if the hand is a little bit weaker, or you need to find another card, for example, you don't have the medallion, for example, or RAL, I think it might be better to mulligan. It depends on, I think if we can go 2 cards deep, the decision is a bit reliant on the specific hand you have. In the third scenario, where you can go 3 cards deep, so we are on the draw with a surveillant, I think it's worth it to keep it. The 74% or 72% if the only land we have is a fetch land, it's really good. I think it's worth it to risk it, because most of the time you will find the land. So, what I wanted to say with this video. With this video I wanted to teach all of you, or reinforce the concept that every single question is not as easy as a yes or no for a question like this. There is no absolute yes in every situation. You have to do this, or no, you don't have to do this in every single situation. There is always a shade of various shades of gray within the answer, just like we saw in this video. What I want to say is that questions like this, or any other question that might come up during testing or during a conversation with another player, the answer should be based around critical thinking and evidence, and not emotions and feelings that are not that good. Just like in life, in real life, I saw many people that are just don't analyze the situations correctly, and just go with their emotions. At 99% of times it doesn't go that well. So just a little video just to explain this concept, not only for magic, but also for real life, for the real life that awaits all of us. So yeah, that's the video. See you next week.